Sharyn Wynters, the Pure Health Show, is brought to you by Mulberry Love. I love my Mulberry Love.
I'm just doing my thing. Oh, you keep hanging. I'm just doing my thing. Oh, you keep hanging.
So I give you solutions, not just here's the problem, but I give you solutions.
I'm just doing my 6 in the morning. Yeah, I'm on my dough.
And that's why I wrote the book. It's about 37 to 40 years of research.
Now I'm flourishing, life's an excursion. If you get it.
When you isolate a vitamin from its whole food form, it becomes nothing more than an isolated chemical, and your body actually has to work harder to break it down to its molecular structure.
Feeling so good, so good. And I'm feeling so good.
Sandra, welcome to my show. What is dense, and we're going to get into what all that means. But welcome here. I'm so glad that you made it.
Thank you for having me on, Sharyn. It's always a pleasure to do stuff with you. I mean, here we are. I'm a mother of 4 and a grandmother of 4. We're in our 6th decade, so we can
speak for yourself. No. Okay.
We can really talk about what is true, the science of regeneration, rejuvenation. But we can talk about a lot about the science. Of course, we'll try to keep it kind of fun too.
Okay. So, obviously, Sandra and I have been friends we're lifelong friends, and I've adopted her daughter. I always say she's my daughter from another mother, and we've had a lot of good times together. But I've never really asked you. I know you've been doing this for 40 years. What led you down this road? How did you get involved in all of this?
Yeah, it's been an interesting life, obviously. I really have had that commitment and that passion for healing, healing the world. How do we bring healing to the world? But it kind of started with my mother and my father, obviously. They got together, and they were in the engineering department at Ohio State University. And my mother was fissioning plutonium. She was working on the bomb when she got me, because there was some other magic that happened when she got together with my dad, an aeronautical engineer. And so I had an interesting time growing up. Everything was science. I played with Geiger counters and things like that as a child. I thought that was kind of normal, but also grew up on the farm and learned a lot about natural healing. I have my own organic gardens, but, healing the animals, and also setting on this mission of how do we really bring a healing to the world. So it's been 40 years of my life as far as teaching already, and it is a passion. And I'm happy to be here and really share, because this is breakthrough stuff.
Yeah.
I actually started with, in 1971 with chiropractic and reflexology and nutrition, and started from there. And I actually, in the 70s, had my first spa. I built my first scalar healing light chamber in 1978.
That's great. Unbelievable.
Yeah, so it's been a long history, and that was a lot of research. Everything was a science project. And I knew things were a little different for me when I did all Mensa games, and I tested above 99th percentile on my ACTs and SATs, and I was top in my state in Latin, English, and math. But now we're here. My mother was doing fission. She was fissioning plutonium. So I came in with acute awareness of all the radiation issues, which is what I want to talk about. But fission breaks things up, versus fusion, which we've created a photonic fusion technology, a scalar technology, which creates that standing columnar wave. Scalar is nonlinear, non-Hertzian, fifth-dimensional standing waves, or that standing columnar waves. But it's fusion that brings cohesiveness, coherence to the whole system. I looked at how do we heal the whole world, and it's been 20 years of already working with this technology, after I'd already spent about 10 years before that working with physicists, top physicists, and scalar, and all kinds of scalar research and technologies and things.
So how did you come up with this original idea? How did that happen?
I feel that there's a law. It's called ask and you shall receive.
Right.
And so when you ask really good questions, you get really good answers. I was meditating on how do we really bring healing to the world. I mean, one-on-one, I was recognized as one of the top healers in the world. I was flown everywhere. People would fly in from everywhere. You know, it was waiting lists of people, and anything and everything would heal. I was literally recognized as one of the top healers on the planet. But there's only so many people we can personally teach or touch or train.
Right.
And it was like, how do we really bring healing to the people, to the masses? And how do we create, this is the other part of it, how do we really create a quantum leap of consciousness?
Right.
Where people just know whatever there is to know, the knowing of which that allows all things to totally heal and clear as issues in the body, the life, the relationships, and the whole world now. How do we really create that quantum shift? And obviously, we're in very deep shift on the planet. So, the shift has hit the fan, accelerated evolution, and it's time to really turn things around on the planet.
Yeah, something
Tipping
just turned
point.
around, something just dropped behind me.
We're at tipping
Whoops.
point.
And it just tipped. So I know you are the creator of what's called bioscalar. What is bioscalar? Everybody say, and I talk about it in my book, in my detoxification chapter. But can you, now I've got the big kahuna, you are a kahuna, the big kahuna here. So explain to us and the audience, what is scalar? Because I go to all these shows now, and everybody's got their little scalar machine, and it nowhere is near what your scalar machine is. But everybody's talking about scalar technology today.
Yeah.
So explain to us what it is, and all these other people are having it.
Right, it's become a new buzzword, marketing word, even though I've been out there. I mean, we are considered a world authority now as far as, because we've created quantifiable science and research. Just like we have peer-reviewed published studies, and I've been asked to present like at MIT at the Cold Fusion Colloquium. I presented on the radiation issues for the UN roundtables. We've worked with Ministries of Health. What is scalar? Yeah, and scalar is, well, you know, like I was invited to present in Kiev, in the Ukraine, you know, where Chernobyl happened, because of the radiation issues and because of the research with our technology being presented in Russia. So what the antidote is for fission and that radiation from Fukushima or the radiation from Chernobyl is fusion. Fusion is the antidote to fission. But we've done the biophotonic fusion aspect, which brings things back together, along with the scalar fields, which in Russia they call torsion fields, because it's the tube torus, it's the toroidal energy, it's the standing column wave, also called a scalar vortex. So this has been brought together, and the easy way to understand it, if there's something easy about it, is to understand it as an infinity wave. Just like we were doing some prayers before we started. It's aloha. So normally I start everything by saying aloha, because that's, I am recognized as a kahuna for nearly 30 years already. And that's breathing all the love of the universe and letting go. Breathing all the love of the universe, and it's overwhelming, overflowing love that flows out infinitely to the universe. So this infinity wave, I don't know which camera is picking this up, but this infinity wave is allows us to interface with the DNA, because that's like it's spiraling into the double helix of the DNA to release anything that is not of core essence. The core of the DNA is the light from the stars, literally the light. So this technology then with the biophotonic fusion activates the light within, literally the light within the cells, the light that's within the core of the DNA. So it turns the lights on. It's what I call cellular enlightenment, but it's like plugging the body back into that cosmic light socket. Universal, unlimited power on, and you can recharge every cell of the body even more easily than you recharge your cell phone, because all people do is they go into an EESystem and they take a nap. It's like the ultimate power nap because the whole body can reboot, reset, relax into a place of peace and healing and total rejuvenation and regeneration. And that's a scalar phenomenon.
So, is there any documented research done on this?
Well, it's been at University of Hawaii Medical School with the chair of complementary alternative medicine, Dr. Terry Shintani, for over 5 years. And so this new breakthrough study in scalar energy medicine was published in the Journal of Neurology Research. And that was September of 2012, actually. And so, and that was reversal of seizure disorder and autism. Now, there's lots of reasons how and why that works so well, because we've seen absolute miracles over and over and over. Because because of the detoxification, like we're featured in your book on the chapter on detox, because it increases the cell membrane potential. It raises that cellular millivoltage up to where when the body has the right energy, there isn't anything the body won't heal. The power that made the body heals the body. So we're right back to chiropractic, straight chiropractic principle, but the power that made the body heals the body. And when the body has the right energy, it'll heal anything and everything. And the detoxification is from that effect of when you raise the millivoltage in the cells, and the cells are turned on, they're excited, the first thing the body's going to do with the extra energy is it wants to clean house. So it's going to start pushing out the heavy metals and realize that all the radiation, the radioactive isotopes are all heavy metals in the body. But it's also going to go about very, very elegantly and rapidly repairing those breaks in the DNA because of, there's a lot of science to that too, but repairing, like we found that there was quadrupled mitochondrial activity in one of our pilot studies done in London. Quadrupled mitochondrial activity. Mitochondria is, the ATP, that's your power generator of the cells. So quadrupled in 1 hour of just taking that power nap, that relaxation. You've experienced it.
Yeah, when we were in Vegas beginning of December, and I was doing a conference there, and after 4 days of doing it, I stopped by your place because she now lives in Vegas. And I just went right down and sat in the scalar room, fell asleep, and I drove home. I couldn't believe I had so much energy. It was like amazing. So I want to try and describe for people what this looks like and what you do. It looks like TV screens actually. There's screens. And there's 4 of them. You can do 4, you can do 8, and you can do 12.
12 right? or 24.
Or 24.
We also have those
I've not experienced the 24. The most I've gotten is 12.
Yes, you were in the 12 unit.
I was in the 12 unit. And you sit. I like to sit in the middle, and it's just different infinities going across the screen, and you can really, I feel it. I'm sure other people do too. I really feel it going into my body. And I also wear your bracelet.
Yeah, and it's a bit of a buzz because the cells get excited. It's like zzz, the cells are excited. Right. I just had some top generals in the system, and they were blown away how fast they could feel it. Immediately feel the body using the energy. And
so it does detox. So my question to you is, I know you do the same detox program that I use. Do you recommend them drinking the special nutrient-dense food that I use to help it get out of the body faster?
Oh, absolutely, because the body is going to be trying to push stuff from every nook and cranny. It's just been to the ultimate energy spa. It's got all this energy. It's trying to push all those heavy metals, the PCBs, all the carcinogens, all the stuff.
So it lets it loose, and then our cleansing teas flush it out of the body.
Yes.
Hold on with that thought. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back with Dr. Sandra Michael on my show, Get Healthy the Wynters Way.
Mulberry love. For thousands of years, mulberries have played an integral role in traditional Chinese medicine. Now, Western science is being applied to explore these ancient practices. Call it the eternal dance of yin-yang or a harmonious meeting of cultures. This refreshing blend of mulberry juice and coconut water tastes delicious too. Mulberry Love, a revolutionary superfruit drink.
Lifting me up if ever know where's my goal. I'm all crazy, got my head spinning around. She just lifts me up when holding me down. Yeah, she's holding me down. Every time I gaze into her eyes, thoughts cross back an escape path. And I find that she is all I need. So hopeless that I can't control it. But my mind won't be the death of me. I know she's what I need. Without my hair I breathe for just a moment in time. So my lines are slow, but I just gotta let her in. It's those big brown eyes warming my soul, lifting me up if ever know where's my goal. When I'm all crazy, got my head spinning around. She just lifts me up when holding me down. Yeah, she's holding me down. Since the day we met, all I do is dream of her eyes. We're not in my size, and I try to get around my head. It's hopeless, and I just can't focus.
We're back with Get Healthy, The Wynters Way. I am Sharyn Wynters, and the show is based on my book, The Pure Cure, A Complete Guide to Freeing Your Life from Dangerous Toxins. And I want to show it. Is that up there? That's right. And so that's my book. And you can go to my website, www.wintersway.com, WYNTERSWAY.com, and get your copy of the book. And what we're going to talk about, we're talking about these medallions and bracelets. Scalar, they're also on my website. So let's talk a little bit more about detox, and maybe you can show people how it works a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because it, like I said, the body gets excited and the body's going to be trying to detox. So you want to really use your teas. I love your book. I think it's a Bible, and every home should have one. I tell everybody that. It's anything and everything
you
that...
I know you buy a lot of them to give to your clients.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that. You get it. It's nice to you get it.
It's like a Bible. It has anything and everything that's created dis-ease or cancer in the body, which is a discombobulation of the light.
Right.
Literally, it's a breakup of the light. But it's also cancer. But what I love is you have the solutions too. So everybody should have this book. But we raise that millivoltage in the cells. Now, the cells, when healthy, are meant to be functioning at 70 to 90 millivoltage.
Right.
Cancer cannot exist in the body till it's below 20. So we want to raise the energy because the cancer cannot exist in a healthy environment.
Right. So by the time somebody gets cancer, their energy shift has gone all the way down. And what I tell my clients, it's like, here's health and here's disease. By the time symptoms show up, it's right before disease, and there's a long journey down that path before you get to that. So one of the things is you need to keep your nutrition up, and you need to cleanse. It's very important to cleanse or detox. They're both the same thing in my opinion. Cleansing, detox, and it's amazing to me how many people say they're on a detox program or maybe a cleansing, because detox brings other things. This is not, we're not detoxing from alcohol and drugs, although there's so many drugs in our bodies for the most part that we're getting from our food that we're eating, that it's totally in our bodies, and from our skincare and from our makeup and all of that. So I think it's really hard to be clean today, and we have to really work hard at keeping the body in that high vibrational energy state so that it doesn't get down there. And so this is all a great way to prevent things from happening, but also if one is ill, it's great. So
Right. And when we the drugs, nobody's been drugged to health yet, right? And to get super healthy, you've got to, there's things, you got to quit poisoning yourself. You cannot expect to be super healthy if you're still poisoning yourself. But like I said, we want to raise up that energy in the body. That's your chi, it's your life force, it's the power, it's your breath. And as you get super healthy, there's no more dis-ease. So as you raise the millivoltage, we can talk about the hydro-bifurcation and the release of the active hydrogen, which is the ultimate fuel for the cells, and the active oxygen, because cancer cannot exist in an oxygenated environment. Right. It also cannot exist in where the pH is your hydrogen potential. So when you raise the millivoltage, the body tissues, with our technology, we found in 1 hour it was normalizing the pH of all the body tissues.
And that's one of the most important things you can drink when you drink water is have it hydrogen stick.
Yes, a hydrogen stick, active water, vortex your water.
Structured water, which is what I have.
Structured
which is what
water.
I recommend on my website.
But also your superfoods, those highly concentrated, raw, dense nutrition, that raw nutrition. It's like we have just the best. I have over 4 million air miles. I said 4 kids, 4 grandchildren, but 4 million air miles, which there's nothing healthy about flying.
No. So you're getting a lot of radiation.
Tremendous
that's
amounts
the
of
first thing,
radiation.
right?
And it's a flying dehydrator, irradiator, and
Right.
hypoxia. There's no oxygen.
Right.
And you're breathing everybody's toxins from around the world.
Right.
So it's constant focus on detoxification.
Right.
And you can't expect to be super healthy if you're still poisoning yourself. So you want to get that raw, live food, pure nutrition that'll support the body in detoxing and flushing the kidneys, the toxins out. But also you want to buy only organic as far as possible, because otherwise that you're just paying to poison yourself. But you want to raise that millivoltage, and the body, when it has the right energy, will heal anything and everything. It just wants to be super healthy. Right. When you get super healthy, there's no more dis-ease. So we wanted to demonstrate a little bit how the medallions and the bracelets, the EE bracelet, or
I'm wearing a bracelet,
or the EE medallions. I have 2 of the medallions
because you can't take the machines with you. They're not portable. Trust me, it takes a long time to set these scalar machines up so that you can sit in it. So you created a way to have scalar on you so that it's always with me. And I just love my medallions and bracelets. So this is one of them. So I have to take it off for the test.
Yes,
right?
we'll take it off
so
for the test.
Okay.
Because what it's about is the body wants to be in dynamic homeostasis. Right. It wants to be in balance, and that is a law of the body, to maintain that balance. And we want people to be able to stay strong no matter what you're exposed to, because we're living in a toxic soup with the radiation and all that. We want total coherence. What radiation, whether it's ionizing radiation or non-ionizing radiation, the ionizing radiation being from Fukushima and things like that, and the non-ionizing from your cell phones and Wi-Fi, and these are technologies of accelerated aging, literally, and it's dehydrating the cells and creating accelerated aging is what it creates, the breakdown of the body. So when the body has that active hydrogen and things are maintained properly in the DNA, you maintain that coherence of the DNA. What happens is that the radiation unzips the DNA. When you have our technology or wear the medallions, it's going to keep the cohesiveness, that coherence of the DNA and keep it in total integrity and intact. So the active hydrogen that with our technology literally has been found, and this was studied at Baylor University by top geneticists. They found that it was repairing all the breaks in the DNA, the breaks in the covalent hydrogen bonds, and lengthening telomeres. So that's true age reversal. So we want to maintain the integrity of your genetics and of your DNA.
I definitely want my telomeres lengthened. Trust me.
And you want your telomeres.
I want my-
They're very exciting and very sexy.
Really, I've got telomeres.
Yeah, science can be sexy. Instead of talking about G strings, we talk about G tails, which is an indicator of the telomerase activity of the telomeres. Now, how exciting is that?
Right.
But this is cold fusion, literally, and how it occurs in the body with these torsion fields. So what I'm going to do is we're going to just put your arm up.
Can
This is
you see that? Yeah,
basic
great.
kinesiological muscle response testing. Just get a strength level, basic strength level, feeling how your body is. And then I'm going to pass you this wonderful Sharpie. Everybody knows what a Sharpie smells like.
A Sharpie.
A Sharpie.
You really smell it.
Yeah, toxic fumes. You're gonna have to, try to hold. Now push up. You, you can't even.
I know, it's incredible.
Yeah, now I just did this with my generals. They were blown away.
It's incredible.
Because we're working a lot with getting this
And you
to the
don't
veterans.
think that this is toxic, and this is just one thing.
Yeah, and what blows people out, it's literally collapsing the blood crystals. It's
Right.
literally short-circuiting the body's energy systems. You know, like an acupuncturist, you could test with accugraph and things like that. You could test the energy field. It short-circuits it, blows it out, and it's creating genetic damage because it's unzipping DNA.
Right.
So now you're going
to. I'll put this
pop
on.
that bracelet on, and it's not going to smell a whole lot better, but see.
It's amazing.
And you feel you're
It's even stronger than the
than-
first time.
Yeah, so you stay strong no matter what. So, like if you're driving in fumes, like I was stuck on Wilshire Boulevard with behind two cop cars that had everything
Right.
blocked off, and you're sitting there, you're breathing. I know from my government scientists that in 10 minutes of carbon monoxide exposure, you have 24 hours of carbon monoxide poisoning. Or being on the plane. In one flight now, you're getting the equivalent that I was just told the latest research is that it's like 100 chest x-rays in one
Right. People
you
don't
know.
realize that's why I have a whole jet lag and anti-radiation program because I work with a lot of people that travel a lot. To take when you're flying, it is really important to prepare yourself.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
Do you opt out?
I tell everybody to opt out. Don't let them tell you it's not
Right.
radiation, the millimeter waves. Yeah, they're better than the backscatter, but it unzips the DNA.
Right.
Do not go there. You want to opt out and get your massage.
Right, get your massage. So it comes as a bracelet, and it also comes with the medallions.
Oh yeah, the medallion.
And you can go. So it looks like this and like that, and they're all different kinds.
And you see how that supports the scalar field, the torsion field, the scalar vortex, because you see the infinity.
Right.
And that creates like a
so
5-foot
I have
bubble.
it on my website if you're interested. It's www.wintersway.com, WYNTERSWAY, and just go to shop around, and it's on there. And we're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back more with Dr. Sandra Rose Michaels.
'Cause I just have to let you go, girl. I know it's worth waiting for, but I just have to let you go. Not saying I don't love you, I do. All of us think, but you're thinking I'm through. But I swear that I'll change. You wouldn't know, 'cause you treat me the same. And I'll be all over things, but to think that that's me. Life's slipping right by easy. Needed you to know that it's hard to let you go. Said it and I said it before. Needed you to see that that it's hard to let you leave. Life shaking right by easy.
Hi, we're back with Get Healthy the Wynters Way. I am Sharyn Wynters, and the show is based on my book, The Pure Cure. I have to hold it up. A complete guide to freeing your life from dangerous toxins, 20 chapters of areas of concern and solutions on the back of it. And we're talking about my chapter on detoxification today with Dr. Sandra Michael. And we just had a little fun here in the studio. She was testing me to see how the Sharpie affects my body. It's interesting because I try to be, as clean and pure as I can, and because of all that I know, and it's really hard. So you really do need to do things that will protect you. Mm-hmm. And what I say is when I wear this, it gives me coherence, so that's
absolutely.
It's out there. The Wi-Fi's are out there. The cell phone towers are out there. The computers are out there. It's all going into my body and affecting me. But when I wear this, I feel stronger and stronger. And it's interesting because I have a lot of my dancers and yoga teachers and yoga people that do yoga. I hear it all the time how much stronger they feel when they wear this as when they don't.
And for yourself, you do a lot of testing with the muscle response, testing with this. We tested for exposure to toxicity because I want people to stay strong no matter what, to just stay strong no matter what we're dealing with, no matter what we're exposed to.
Emotionally, too. Stay strong no matter what.
It's not about protection from, it's about you stay in total integrity.
Right.
That standing column or wave through your cells, through the DNA, through your spine. So you stay strong and in balance. And you found that with your muscle testing. You have people stand on one leg. You've done that with your dancers and things, right?
They're blown away by it. It's amazing. And people that don't even believe because it's the truth.
Well, the way you do it, it's kind of like a martial arts technique where they can stand on one leg, you push, they have no balance.
Right.
But you pop the bracelet or the medallion on, and you can push on them standing on one leg, and they stay strong and stay totally in balance. That's that dynamic homeostasis. Right. It's like a 0 point.
So with all that's going on our planet, it's really important to detox, to cleanse the body.
Mm-hmm.
And this is one of the ways that people can do that, along with what we use. I know you use it on your patients. I use it on my clients, as to educate them on why they need to be drinking our cleansing beverage to get all the toxins out of the body. Because people say, how long do I drink this? Well, you're living in this world. You need to be drinking it all the time because we're getting exposed all the time. Don't you think?
You can never be too healthy, too clean, too clear. We want greater and greater clarity. We want to be stronger and stronger. Really, we want to be super women and
well, we are super women,
and have fun. But we also want that age reversal. Right. We want to look better and better.
Right.
So I flew in yesterday on a cross-country flight, over 6 hours. There is this super tea that is like the original formula of the Shaolin monks. I love it because I work with the world Qigong Grandmasters. And this is like the best secrets of longevity from the emperors in China. The super products that I absolutely love. And so on that 6-hour flight, I know that this special tea that we get was used by NASA to prevent the deep vein thrombosis because you want your circulation to stay perfect. Right. So I have my medallions, my bracelets, and I drink. I have them keep bringing me hot water for me to drink my tea.
Right.
In first class. And then I also, before I get on the plane, I get a bottle and I put all the super nutrients, all these superfoods into that bottle. Wherever I am, all over the world, I just put it in the bottle and shake it up, and it balances the blood sugar, it gives me perfect energy, and it detoxes because you've got to put in the super nutrients to block the radiation. Now, some of the research, now I know some of this research from some of my government scientists. There was research done after Hiroshima and studying the effects of radiation on the body. And one of the suppressed studies was about green teas.
Right.
And it would take, and this has just recently been released, but it would take 20 cups of green tea to reverse 97% of the radiation issues. So 20 cups of green tea, who's going to, here in America, we don't necessarily drink that much green tea. But
And there's so many different varieties of green tea.
yeah, we want best of.
And most people, the tea bags are bleached so that when you put it in hot water.
Dioxins and
Right.
all
So-
these issues. Or there's radiation in the tea coming from Japan.
Right.
That tea is radioactive.
Right.
So we want the best of. I've gone all over the world, presented at anti-aging conferences, but also studying the secrets of longevity. And so we find best of. The tea leaves that are used for this are picked between just 2 hours. It's a narrow window and grown in special ways and
Right.
processed to
And it's
stay
concentrated, so you don't have to drink 20 cups. One tea bag makes 10 servings.
live. So we just make sure we use
Right.
2 tea bags a day. So I use one in the morning, and I make sure I have one with dinner because it's good for digestion, keeps everything in circulation good. It's helping detox the colon, which is really, really important. And so I love it. And it's what I give, the first thing I give everybody. There's thousands of studies on the benefits of green tea.
Right.
And also some of it's with chrysanthemum, which I sent you some of that recent
Right.
research
Yeah,
on the
that was
benefits.
interesting.
Yeah, these are the superfoods,
Right.
and it's what we can use to stay healthy because, the supplements, people ask me all the time about supplements, and I tell people 95% of them are either less than beneficial or downright detrimental because it's just more stuff
Your
for
body
the
has
body.
a hard time
to-
isolating a chemical, which is what most vitamins are, minerals are. Your body needs a food, and
Yeah.
food consists of 5 components. If any one of those components are missing, the body doesn't know what to do with it. So both of us work
Yeah.
with nutrient-dense foods that have all your vitamins and minerals and enzymes in a whole food form that the body can assimilate.
Yeah.
It's already
Food is our best
pre-digested.
medicine, and pre-digested
Right.
assimilation is everything. And so we restructure
Food can be
things
your
and
poison,
charge them.
or food can be your medicine.
Absolutely, but it's very, very important that how that food is done.
Right.
And so, like I said, we take 2 tea bags a day. That helps reverse the issues. There's thousands of studies on the benefits of green tea and the different teas. These are our superfoods. These are our super nutrients. But life comes from life. You don't get more aliveness or more health by putting in more dead stuff. And you can't expect to be super healthy if you're still poisoning yourself. Wake up.
Right. So I think it's really important today for all of us to be eating superfoods because there's so many foods out there that are not good for us, that we think that are good for us. But in today's world of what they're doing with GMO and irradiation, it's really hard to find pure food today.
Yeah. And one of the first
unless
things,
you're growing it yourself and you know that the seeds that you're growing are non-GMO, because you can go to the farmer's market and think you're getting organic, and the foods may be organic, the vegetables may be organic, but the seeds could be GMO.
and we have all the Fukushima radiation, that the beaches are radioactive. I mean, it's a 37% increase in hypothyroidism
Right.
here in California with the babies being born right now. There was a 57%, in the first 10 weeks after Fukushima happened, it was a 35% increase in infant mortality here on the west coast of the U.S. And in Philadelphia, which you were Miss Philadelphia
Pennsylvania.
in a past life.
Miss
but-
Pennsylvania.
oh, Miss Pennsylvania.
It's between
you
I was between a city and a state. It's okay.
But yeah, Philadelphia. The radiation in the water, the iodine-131, was the highest in Philadelphia, and the infant
Do you know why?
mortality rate was the highest.
Because they have the more plants in Philadelphia than anywhere else in the country.
Mm-hmm.
And all my aunts and uncles and cousins have died of cancer in Philadelphia. My cousin just died February 9th of cancer, which is interesting because she died. My father died on February 9th, 40 years ago. And I was reflecting on that when I got the call. But Philadelphia is a really toxic place to live.
Well,
to
and
raise
you
children.
had
I
cancer and
left
you
there-
reversed it.
I left when I was 18.
But it did develop cancer in your body from the toxins that were had
I think-
bioaccumulated.
Right. I think there were many reasons why I got cancer. And it was definitely a gift.
Yeah.
And,
Well, look
to
at the
reject-
gift you are now. Look how gorgeous and beautiful. And but this is what you do. You find, by the fruit you know, effectiveness is a measure of truth. And so you find people where you see what's working and go,
Right.
how well is it working?
Right.
How do you want to be?
And that's what we all have to ask ourselves. Is this working for you? Is this working for me?
Or-
Let me see if this is
or
working.
go-
And within everything, within about relationship, with about food, with about your friends and all of that. Is this working for me?
Or
In the
how's
best
that working
interest-
for you,
Yeah,
honey?
how's that working for you? Is that I like that. How's that working for you?
But literally, it's like you can't expect to be super healthy if you love yourself. You're not going to give yourself anything less than beneficial. But how's that working for you? You can't expect to get different results if you keep doing the same thing. It's about
Isn't
change.
that's definition of insanity. Doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result. That is insanity.
And we've seen a lot of that because people have been so disconnected from what they're eating, producing their state of health or a state of dis-ease. Because if you want to be super healthy, you want to focus on what really creates health. And the doctors have been trained in treating disease. They have not really been trained in how do we create super health. And that's our responsibility. It's what goes on for yourself.
I know before I had my cancer, I was not conscious of what I was putting into my body. Just get something quick, easy, fast food, McDonald's or Jack in the Box or whatever. And when I had my cancer, it was my wake-up call. That was my wake-up call, and I haven't had any fast food since I was 25 years old.
Yeah.
Nor do I want it, but I go, I pass these places all the time, and they're packed, and most of, this country eats fast food. When McDonald's came out, it wasn't intended to be an everyday thing. It was like once in a while to go so that the wife didn't have to cook. But it's turned into something else.
And
We
our
want it
cancer
quick,
rates.
We want it quick. We want it fast. We want it right now. Microwaving the food, which kills the molecular structure of food.
And radiolytic byproducts, again, it's radiation.
Right.
It's radiation. And then the body can't even recognize
Well, do
it
you remember
as
that story
food.
where a nurse had to heat up some blood and she put it in the microwave? And they put
Killed
it in
the patient.
Killed the patient.
Same thing with babies. If you
Right.
microwave,
You cannot microwave
formula,
formula.
it'll actually kill them. I mean, it's so life comes from life.
If
There
the
is
formula doesn't get them.
right, but our cancer rate is above 1 in 2 now. And our cancer rates with the radiation effects, the cancer rates are skyrocketing, leukemia, the diabetes, because that's another effect of the radiation issues.
So that's important to hear. The cancer rates are 1 in 2 people are going to get some form of cancer. It's like your house is going to catch on fire. What are you going to do? Are you going to sit there and wait for it to happen and then figure out how you're going to put it out? Or are you going to arm yourself with all the things that you need so that when it comes, you can put it out? Meaning that you need to do things so you don't get it.
Yeah. And cancer is a big wake-up call. So I've
It
been
was
helping.
a big wake-up call for me.
I call it, I've been helping people reverse cancer for over 20 years and diabetes, but to me it was shift or get off the planet.
Right. Well, every disease, whether it's heart disease or whatever it is a wake-up call. It's like, okay, you're disease is just an outer manifestation of an internal imbalance.
Mm-hmm.
And I always say, if you feed the body what it needs, the dis-ease will take care of itself, which is what the father of medicine said, Hippocrates, food shall be your medicine, and medicine shall be your food. And we're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back with more of Get Healthy the Wynters Way.
Mulberry love. For thousands of years, mulberries have played an integral role in traditional Chinese medicine. Now, Western science is being applied to explore these ancient practices. Call it the eternal dance of yin-yang or a harmonious meeting of cultures. This refreshing blend of mulberry juice and coconut water tastes delicious too. Mulberry love, a revolutionary superfruit drink.
Yeah, she's holding me down every time I gaze into her eyes. Thoughts cross back, an escape path, and I find that she is all I need. So hopeless that I can't control it, but my mind won't be the death of me. I know she's what I need. Without my hair, I breathe for just a moment in time. So my lines are slow, but I just gotta let her go. It's those big brown eyes, warming my soul, lifting me up if ever know where's my goal. When I'm all crazy, got my head spinning around. She just lifts me up when holding me down.
We're back with Get Healthy the Wynters Way. I am Sharyn Wynters. This show is based on my book, The Pure Cure. Show it. A complete guide to freeing your life from dangerous toxins, 20 chapters, areas of concern, and solutions at the end of each chapter. While we were on this break, our engineer said, I got to get your book because I get headaches. I'm sure you don't mind me sharing because I'm not going to say your name. And the first question we both ask is,
Do you drink sodas?
do you drink sodas?
Yeah.
You want to explain why sodas can cause migraines?
Gosh, it's a long list of why that creates headaches. But the first thing, one of the first main triggers for migraines is that combination of aspartame and high fructose corn syrup, and then it's a 2.5 pH. So it makes the body very acidic. So the body has to pull the minerals out of the bones, out of your teeth, to balance the pH of the blood.
An aspartame is an excitotoxin. It literally excites the brain neurons to death. And once they're gone, it's hard to regenerate that.
It's a majorly linked to headaches, especially, and also the high fructose corn syrup crosses the blood-brain barrier. Aspartame is directly linked to brain tumors. And I also tell men, I'll be sitting on first class on a plane, and I'll tell them, you may not want to drink that. I'm a biophysicist. You may not, because it also can cause impotence, and you don't want to go there either.
And then they take a pill to try and rectify that. Excuse the pun. You have some pictures that you brought with you. I wonder if we could show that and what that does. What is that?
Oh, since this is somebody with a migraine. Okay, this is digital thermal imaging. The red-orange at the top.
Thermography.
Digital thermography. The red-orange shows inflammation. This was somebody with a migraine or with migraine headaches. And you see the sinus involvement. And this is after just 2 sessions of being in our technology. Now, the brain controls the body. Pain is inflammation. All dis-ease and aging is inflammatory response. So when you clear the pain, you can see how, that's one of the first things our technology does. This was just in a few hours of use, and of course that affects all the function. We've seen a lot of reversals of autism, dementia, obviously headaches.
Some of the reasons for autism is the mercury in the brain. Mm-hmm. And so when you sit in that or when you start doing a cleansing program to get rid of the mercury, the heavy metals in the body, it definitely makes a difference, a significant difference. And food choices too.
Absolutely.
Staying out of not eating GMO foods and not eating foods that have gluten. In fact, I just wrote a great article on gluten. It's on my website for the Beverly Hills Times Magazine, why we shouldn't be eating foods with gluten.
Yeah, that is
wheat.
Especially wheat.
Yeah.
Wheat is what people don't realize. Yeah, I wrote the foreword for Dr. Gabriel Cousins' book, There is a Cure for Diabetes. And Dr. Shintani, who I work with, wrote the first peer-reviewed published study, bulletproof study, reversing diabetes with diet. One of the things people don't realize is one slice of whole wheat toast spikes the blood sugar more than 2 tablespoons of sugar.
Right.
And then there's this great book called Wheat Belly because it creates leaky gut syndrome.
Right. I spoke about that in my article, but also 1 slice of bread equals 2 tablespoons of sugar, but it's also higher on the glycemic index. It's 72, whereas the sugar is 56 on the glycemic index.
And that feeds the inflammatory response through the whole body. And all dis-ease and aging is inflammation. This is another example, for detox. But this is after just 1 hour. The woman, at the top of this was done in Sedona at the Energy Enhancement System in Sedona. Before she was diagnosed with bronchitis. And you see after 1 hour, you see how the body is pushing out the congestion. You see the congestion in the throat because the body's going to want to expel what's been creating the congestion and eliminate, detox it. But this is how fast the body wants to heal and wants to push out whatever has created the disease.
So let me ask you a question. The scalar bracelets that I wear and the medallions that I wear, is it as effective as the technology?
Well, it's not quite the same as having a precision laser-aligned field engine generators where the screens look like 12 strands of DNA. However, with the medallions that the miracles have been reported to the Vatican, and people would take the medallions and put them over their eyes and reverse their cataracts, or put them, wherever they were experiencing pain. And yes, we've seen literally miraculous healings, and that was reported to the Vatican. And so,
and it's not the stones so much as they've been infused. Would you say infused with bioscalar? They've been supercharged is what you said. Hypercharged.
Supercharged. They're embedded with this hyper healthy, dense, intentional information
And
fields.
how long does it last?
And it lasts, infinity lasts a long time. These are self-perpetuating, self-regenerative. So it's perpetual regeneration, which supports your body in that state and also helps the body be continually clearing the inflammation. Like the bracelets, your blood runs through it, so it keeps the blood flowing smoothly. Right. The medallion does like a 5-foot cocoon. But, so it keeps you in this strong state or field of consciousness.
So are the medallions stronger than the bracelets, or it's just?
The medallions are somewhat stronger than the bracelets, but they work differently. The bracelets, the blood runs through it, and it sits on your pulse points, so it works tremendously with the body. I like to do both. They both work. People have dramatic results with both.
We need to wear as much as we can.
And if you experience any detox reaction, because as the body gets stronger, it's going to start flushing stuff out. So you want to drink your healthy, hyper healthy teas, and you also want to drink a lot of water, and also do salt baths because the skin's the largest organ, and that's another thing to support the detox.
Yeah, I do salt baths almost every day. I love doing salt baths.
Yeah, and the specific bath for radiation, just so you know, is 2 cups of salt, like kosher salt, sea salt, Celtic salt, Himalayan salt, 2 cups of salt, and 2 cups of baking soda. Baking soda is another miracle ingredient. Yes. And this is what occurs literally in the cells before and after being in the technology. And that's what the medallions and the bracelets are also. Oops, did we get that? That's what the medallions and bracelets are also trying to do. And again, it's literally turning the lights on. Cellular enlightenment, activating the light within you so you can make more intelligent choices, healthier choices for you and your family and our whole world.
So do you believe that everybody needs to be on a cleansing program?
Absolutely. Absolutely important. The detoxification. We've been living in a toxic soup. In our water supplies, we have. Where do you think all the drugs of everybody's
And
chemotherapy?
we're drinking everybody else's medications in our water.
And we have nothing to filter all the
Plus
hormone
chloride and
therapies.
fluoride.
And the fluoride, the fluorine, chlorine, chloride. These are halogens, the bromine, bromide, because the wheat is treated with bromides. Those are all halogens that
Right.
displace the iodine in the thyroid. So this is why we have so much hypothyroidism, the diabetes, the metabolic syndromes, the prediabetes, all these issues.
Right. So I think that cleansing is probably one of the most important things one can do for their health, because we need to get the toxins out, but we also need to eat superfoods to put the nutrition in. It's one isn't more important than the other. They work together, and that's why I have a program I call my NBC: Nourish Your Body, Balance Your Body, and Cleanse Your Body. So we're constantly feeding the body with proper nutrients to get the body healthy and as you say, strong, coherent.
So the body is truly nourished, and there's those superfoods that do support the detoxification, because as you raise your life force, as your body is supported in its ultimate health and vitality, that's what nutrition and nourishment is for, right?
That's right.
So, and when the body has the energy, it will naturally start cleaning house and dumping the stuff. So you want to, clinical hydration is a gallon of water a day, but don't drink the tap water, please.
and it's important for the water to have electrical, some kind of electrolytes, because our body's an electrical system. And
Absolutely.
how nutrients get transported through is through this electrical current.
That charge. Again.
It needs a charge.
And you need those
Because
electrolytes.
I see people all the time that I drink water, but I'm still dehydrated. Well,
It's
let's
not
take a look at it.
structured water, and you need those electrolytes for the body to use the energy and charge, and most people are very depleted. And those minerals, everything is dependent on the minerals for the synapses, the neurotransmitters, and so dependent on those minerals, and those minerals will also protect you from the radiation.
We have 1 minute left. What do you want to leave our viewers with?
Oh, well, thank you so much for all your great work. Thanks for having me on the show.
My pleasure,
We
Sandra.
love what you're doing with this. I think we need to I like to educate people, empower people to make healthier choices.
Yeah.
If you love your kids, our kids are where it's at. They're 10 times more susceptible to the radiation. We want the technology. It's now in here in LA with Agape, with Reverend Michael Beckwith. And we have new systems going in everywhere. You can check our website, EESystem.com. Most of our systems are in private homes. We need to get it in your home. And we're opening a new center in Vegas shortly, too. But we're also getting it in. I want the technology in for all of our veterans, for the PTSD,
absolutely.
and they've been exposed to depleted uranium, Agent Orange, all these issues. And so that's one of my real passions right now, is getting it to our veterans, because it's just not good what we've got, the situations. And what's good about the EE system, it's not practitioner dependent. It's not one-on-one.
You just sit in it. You just sit in the. So if you want to experience it, come to Agape, and you can go into the meditation room, and it's right there in the meditation room. Sandra, thank you so much for being here. We're going to hang out together after this and get some good food to eat. And catch up on some. God, we haven't seen each other in a week.
Oh, lots to catch up on.
We always have lots to catch up. And thank you so much out there. And if you like the show, you can go to my website. I have all my past shows up. I have Michael Beckwith. I have Marianne Williamson, or about biologist, or a Miller, talking about EMFs and just check them out. Go to media on my website, www.wintersway.com. Thank you so much for listening, and stay healthy the Wynters way.
Aloha.
Namaste.
Sharyn Wynters, the Pure Health Show, is brought to you by Mulberry Love. I love my Mulberry Love.
Just do my thing. Oh, you keep hating.
So I give you solutions, not just here's the problem, but I give you solutions.